Welcome to Live, Laugh, Talk. I'm your host, James Graham, and it's a joy to be here in your ear. In this episode, we will begin with the topic entitled, What to Look For in a Mate. Then we will transition to our segment, How Did We Get Here? Followed by our hobbies and special interest section, and then conclude with our sunflower message. We'd love to hear your comments at admin@livelaughtalk.com. That's email us at admin@livelaughtalk.com. If listening on Spotify, you can add voice memos, comments, and participate in our poll. Also, wherever it is that you listen to the podcast, please follow us so that you are notified of the new episodes when they're released. The topic that we will begin with is entitled, What to Look For in a Mate. When people think of searching for a mate today, what are the qualities that they look for? Unfortunately, too many people look for the wrong things. They might search for looks. Well, that fades away. Maybe they want to make sure that the person has money and material things. Well, those are not always long lasting. See, the things that most people look for does not lead to success nor a long lasting relationship. Well, with that in mind, what should we look for? Well, let's look at some qualities that we would want to find in a mate and also the qualities that would last for a lifetime. If we try to make sure that we are compatible with a person, that we have shared values, in addition, we want to have effective communication, mutual respect, and emotional support. All of these are key qualities to consider in a potential life partner. Additionally, consider their level of ambition, sense of humor, and ability to handle challenges. Trust, loyalty, and a genuine connection are vital as well for a strong and lasting relationship. We should look for someone who encourages our personal growth and respects our individuality. Shared interests and a similar outlook on major life goals can contribute to a harmonious relationship as well. Openness and honesty foster trust and understanding between partners. Furthermore, pay attention to how they handle conflicts. A healthy relationship requires effective problem solving and compromise. Emotional intelligence, kindness, and a supportive attitude during tough times are invaluable traits in a life partner. Consider the importance of physical and emotional intimacy. Let's not fool ourselves. We don't want to get into a relationship that's all about conversation, right? We want to have a physical relationship as well. So we want to make sure that that's not the main thing in the relationship or that's just the main thing we're looking for. But yes, if we have that strong connection with someone, well, of course, that intimacy is going to come. And not just the physical, but also the emotional intimacy, meaning that we can search each other's minds and in conversation, we get closer to each other. Yes, a strong connection of both physical and emotional intimacy can contribute to a fulfilling and well rounded relationship. Assessing their ability to balance independence with togetherness is crucial for a dynamic partnership. Evaluate their communication style and willingness to listen. Yes, a successful relationship involves active listening, understanding, and expressing thoughts and feelings. Shared values in areas like family, finances, and lifestyle choices contribute to a solid foundation for a long lasting connection. Additionally, observe their attitude towards compromise and flexibility. A healthy relationship requires both partners to adapt and grow together. Assessing their long term commitment and willingness to work through challenges can provide insight into the sustainability of the relationship. If we have individuals around us that are great couples as well, well, this could be a wonderful support system. And also, if we look at the support system of the individual that we are considering, it will often reflect on their character as well. Yes, if we find that their five closest friends are nothing like what we want in our lives, then we might want to beware because a person is who their five closest friends are. We want to have shared values with the one we want to bring into our lives. Shared values in terms of ethics, morals, and life philosophy. Yes, this can strengthen the bond. And keep in mind that no one is perfect. So, understanding and accepting each other's flaws is crucial for a resilient and enduring connection. Remember that relationships require ongoing effort and communication. Keep the lines of dialogue open, continuously nurture the emotional connection, and be willing to adapt as individuals and as a couple. Yes, embrace the journey of growth and discovery together. Celebrate each other's achievements and support each other's dreams. I was once talking to a couple, and the gentleman had dreams. He was wanting to do different things with his life, but his mate just killed his dreams. She said they were stupid, and he was too old to even consider some of the things that he wanted to do with his life. None of this was true. The fact of the matter is that she was not supportive. But if we think about it, if we look at the opposite way of that, I always look at the Obamas as a couple. And in my mind, I can envision Barack coming home and saying, you know, honey, I want to be the president of the United States. Now, if you're his spouse and you've never seen a black president of the United States, much less one named Barack Hussein Obama, you might not be very supportive. You might have been like the couple I was talking about before, where his mate just killed his dream. But obviously, Michelle did not do this. She supported the dream. And what happened? We all, the entire world, got to see the first and so far only black president of the United States of America because the dream was supported by his mate. Well, that's what we're talking about. When we want to find a successful mate, we want to find one that supports our dreams. A thriving relationship involves shared joy and success and resilience in facing challenges. If we invest time and energy into our relationship continuously, making it a priority in our life, then we will also see success. We have to prioritize our quality time together, fostering a deep connection through shared experiences. And we want to keep that romance alive by expressing affection and appreciation regularly. Stay curious about each other's lives. Maintain a genuine interest in your partner's thoughts, feelings, and aspirations. Continuously explore new aspects of your new relationship, whether it's through shared hobbies, travel, or personal growth. Yes, there's going to be ebbs and flows of life, but we want to adapt together through different phases. And we can only find out if that one is willing to do that with us if we date long enough to get to know that person. Because, see, this is a journey, it's not a sprint. and involves both individuals. You know what we don't want to leave out too? There's a quality we want to look for in a mate and that makes success in a long lasting relationship. It's a sense of humor and playfulness. Laughter can be a powerful tool to navigate challenges and strengthen our connection. Be patient, be understanding, and always communicate openly to foster a relationship that stands the test of time. Finally, never underestimate the power of gratitude. Expressing appreciation for each other regularly can create a positive and supportive atmosphere. Gratitude reinforces the love and connection in your relationship, making it resilient and fulfilling for the years to come. Additionally, trust your instincts. If you feel a genuine connection and a sense of comfort with someone, that's a positive sign. On the contrary, if you sense red flags or lack of compatibility, it's essential to address these concerns early on. Ultimately, a successful relationship is built on the foundation of love, trust, and shared values, not on body shapes, looks, money. So when we decide to look for that perfect mate for us, that one that we want to live with for a lifetime, let's think about the qualities that we mentioned here. Let's make sure that we look for compatibility, that we communicate effectively, and most importantly, let's make sure that we support each other emotionally and physically, as these are the qualities that are most important for a life partner. In our schools today, we have entirely too much violence. Yes, the examples that we can think of school violence include bullying, cyberbullying, fighting, weapon use, gang violence, sexual violence, all right there within the school system. It happens oftentimes right there on school property. Or maybe it's on the way to or from school on the bus. Maybe at a school sponsored event. You know, there have been so many violent acts to take place at even sporting events sponsored by the school, to which some schools have decided to just take away their sport programs altogether. We've had violence within the school. Just in Raleigh, North Carolina, a couple days ago, a student who states he was bullied by many of his peers stabbed two individuals and killed one. He's not alone. It's happened more often than we would really like to say. Just last year, the CDC's nationwide youth risk behavior survey was administered to high school students across the U.S. About 1 in 5 high school students reported being bullied on school property. 8% of high school students had been in a physical fight on school property one or more times during the 12 months before the survey. More than 7% of high school students had been threatened or injured with a weapon, like a knife, a gun, or club, right there on school property, one or more times during the 12 months before the survey. Almost 9% of high school students had not gone to school at least one day during the 30 days before the survey because they felt they would be unsafe at school. on their way to or from school. All students have the right to learn in a safe school environment. The good news is that school violence can be prevented. Many factors contribute to school violence. Preventing it requires addressing the factors that put people at risk for or to protect them from violence. Research shows that prevention efforts by teachers, administrators, parents, community members, and even students can reduce violence and improve the school environment. The CDC developed resources for action, formerly known as technical packages, to help communities and states prioritize prevention strategies based on the best available evidence. The strategies and approaches in the resources for action are intended to shape individual behaviors as well as the relationship, family, school, community, and societal factors that influence risk and protective factors for violence. They are meant to work together and to be used in combination with a multi level, multi sector effort to prevent violence. Addressing violence in schools requires implementing effective anti bullying programs, promoting mental health support, enhancing school security measures, and fostering a culture of open communication and empathy among students and staff. Additionally, educating students about conflict resolution, tolerance, and the consequences of violence can contribute to a safer school environment as well. Collaboration between schools, parents, and community resources is crucial to creating comprehensive strategies that prioritize the well being and safety of students. Investing in early prevention or intervention programs and counseling services can help identify and address behavioral issues before they even escalate. Creating a supportive and inclusive school community where students feel heard, students feel respected. That is essential in preventing violence and fostering a positive learning environment. And our teachers and staff, they need to be regularly trained. They need to recognize the warning signs and implement crisis management strategies. Responding to incidents is vital. Encouraging students to report concerns and maintaining a zero tolerance policy for violence sends a clear message that such behavior is not acceptable. Collaboration with law enforcement can enhance overall school security measures. Moreover, promoting a culture of empathy and understanding can help break down social barriers and reduce the likelihood of violence. Implementing restorative justice can provide an alternative to punitive measures, focusing on repairing harm and fostering accountability. Continuous evaluation and adaptation of school policies based on evolving challenges create a safe and nurturing learning environment. And as mentioned, we need community. It takes a village to raise a child, and community involvement plays a pivotal role. Engaging parents, local organizations, and authorities fosters a collective responsibility for school safety. Providing resources for families to address issues such as domestic violence or substance abuse can indirectly contribute to reducing violence in schools by addressing underlying factors. Regular assessments of school climate and safety measures ensure a proactive response to potential risks. Encouraging peer mentoring programs. Yes, many schools have peer mentoring as well as educators who mentor and create opportunities for positive social interactions can strengthen the fabric of the school community. By fostering a sense of belonging and connection, schools can mitigate the factors that contribute to violence. We need also technology solutions. Technological advances are out there. Let's use them. We need surveillance systems, anonymous reporting platforms. In addition, We need metal detectors, police officers. Regular drills and simulations can prepare students and staff for potential emergencies. All of this will reduce panic and also improve the entire thought of saving lives. Ongoing training on topics like conflict resolution, cultural sensitivity, as we mentioned earlier, equips educators with the tools to create a more inclusive and respectful environment. Addressing violence in schools requires a collaborative effort. Educators, students, parents, community. All of us need to focus on prevention, intervention, and create a positive school culture. We need to work towards fostering environments where students can learn and grow without the threat of violence. Let's make sure that we all are involved. We want a resilient, safer educational space for everyone involved. Yet our numbers are severe. We have students, 1 in 5, being bullied, 7% being threatened with a weapon, 9% avoiding school, 8% being in physical fights in school. Which gets us to the question, how did we get here? Pet grooming as a hobby can be rewarding, it can be enjoyable. It not only enhances the well being of your furry friend, but also allows you to express creativity. Learning different grooming techniques, understanding your pet's specific needs, and investing in quality tools can turn this hobby into a bonding activity that benefits both you and your pets. Exploring various grooming styles and staying updated on grooming trends can add an element of excitement to the hobby. It provides an opportunity to pamper your pets and develop a deeper connection with them. Additionally, sharing your grooming skills with friends or volunteering at local animal shelters can extend the joy of pet grooming beyond your own furry companions. We can consider creating a designated grooming space with all the necessary supplies, making the experience more organized and enjoyable. Joining online pet grooming communities or taking courses can help you refine your skills and connect with fellow enthusiasts. Exchanging tips and experiences as well can also be a key approach to pet grooming. In addition, it can strengthen the bond between you, your pets, and also others who are interested in the hobby as well. Experimenting with different grooming products, such as specialty shampoos, grooming accessories, also can add to an element of fun and personalization. Let's pay attention to our pets' preferences and comfort during grooming sessions. They're little people too, and it's a positive experience for them. Regular grooming not only keeps your pets looking their best, but also contributes to their overall well being. And some people, if you look online, have gotten really good at it. They started off and their pet looked horrible, but after a few tries, they've made some beautiful enhancements. And as you deepen your expertise, you might even consider offering your grooming services to friends or neighbors, turning your hobby into a small side venture. Documenting your journey through photos, videos, and putting them on social media can not only track your progress, but also let others know of your creativity and your skill development. If we go to pet grooming events and competitions, we can continuously expand our knowledge and refine our techniques that can elevate the hobby to a higher level. Moreover, the satisfaction of seeing your pet happy, healthy, and well groomed adds a special dimension to this hobby, creating lasting memories, and fostering a positive relationship with your furry pet. So consider incorporating a routine that will make sure that your emotional connection grows. In addition, you want to make sure that that trust that you have with the animal and the joy that is derived from having them well groomed is a continuous source of fulfillment in this delightful hobby. Our sunflower message is a comment that was given by one of our listeners to our episode, Dress How You Wish to Be Addressed. In that episode, we talked about the value of being dressed appropriately. But our listener took it to another level. She saw this woman that was dressed beautifully, and she approached her. Little did she know that the lady was blind. And she told her, she said, "What you have on is beautiful." This lady asked her, "Well, describe it to me," because I had others dress me. Then she described the outfit to the young lady. It made that lady smile. Both of them ended that day with a smile. Yes, you see, sometimes in life, we run into people that just need a little uplifting. And if we find ourselves as day makers, meaning that we seek to make others' day better, we will never have a moment in our lives that we feel unfulfilled. Because fulfilling the lives of others is our very purpose on earth. And look at how two individuals were uplifted by just a simple comment. And look at how we're uplifted by a comment to one of our segments. So we encourage you at the onset of every podcast to comment. Yes, on Spotify, you can go right to a question that we have every episode. We also have polls. Also on our email at admin@livelaughtalk.com, you can reach us. You can also leave comments and let us know how the episodes benefit you in your life. And this comment brings all of us joy. It is our sunflower message. On Cash App, $ Live Laugh Talk, on Twitter at Live Laugh Talker, or on your podcast platform, you can donate to support the podcast. All donations go directly to the podcast, and they're appreciated. Remember to rate us also the highest on your podcast platform. Also, tell your friends, family, and colleagues about us. And go to Etsy. Search for How Did We Get Here? Search for Live Laugh Talk or my name, James Graham, and you'll find plenty of merchandise that you will enjoy adding to your collection. This is James and Georgia's baby boy signing off. And as you know, I can't wait to talk with you again soon.